Hi everyone. In this video, let's look at how can you use a Meraki AP to capture Wi-Fi traffic. The client servicing AP may be a third-party vendor or another environment, but we are trying to set Meraki APs to JAWS channel and see whether we are able to capture the traffic. So in this instances, remember like a Meraki AP acting as a sniffer mode. Because we are not technically servicing client through that access point, we are using it as a capture something else. So now you will not able to get a decrypted view. Why? Because we are not servicing client through the Meraki access point. So keep that in mind in this particular instances. So let's go to our Meraki environment. So now go back here just to make sure you understand what we are trying to do, the channel number perspective. So I have a Cisco controller environment set up for this channel number 21 6 gigahertz, channel number 149 5 gigahertz, both 80 megahertz, and 2.4 channel number 1. So now if you go to your Meraki environment, so you have to set your Meraki AP's channel to corresponding to those. In that way, I have to basically change this channel to channel number 149. So you can go ahead and manually change the channel to channel number 149. So I'll basically go ahead and select that channel and save. By default, it's 40 megahertz. If you want to change that to 80 megahertz, you have to modify your RF profile. So now I have a basic indoor profile. You can see this. Now let's basically go ahead and change 5 gigahertz to 80 megahertz, because in case you want to capture the entire 80 megahertz, probably you have to modify like this. The other thing, like now in this environment, because it is broadcasting certain SSID, so if you want to get across all the 3 band enable, probably you have to enable one SSID across all the 3 band. So that will be both 3 radios to be up. Otherwise, I notice radios will be going to be down. In that particular purpose, I will let's keep one SSID, all others basically just for the time being, not broadcasting. In that way, I'm just enable one SSID here across all the band. That will make the Meraki radios to be enable all the 3 band. So now if I go to the wireless access point, okay, let me just save this configuration here and then make sure, okay, it says some complaining about one setting. One or more errors occurred, no changes have been saved, every SSID must be still one radio enabled. Okay, so that means I have to basically disable some SSID. So let's basically keep it here and save this setting. And then if I don't want to see the more SSID being broadcast on the Meraki environment, let me go ahead and disable a couple of SSID. So now I disable SSIDs and then only keeping one SSID across all the 3 band. So I want to make sure I go to access point and check this access point radio band and make sure those radio band, it says this being radio is off. We will check anyway. I don't want to basically again being advertised that SSID across all the 3 radios. So let's go ahead and now you can see channel number 149 and 21. So now if I go to my Meraki access point, not Meraki, the 9800 manage. Now this is my client servicing radios are. I want to make sure now I have a 9800 setup. So what I'm going to do is actually I will enable that setup and then take packet capture using Meraki. Now if I go to access point here, so you can see now my 9th AP178 is channel number 21 here, channel number 149 here, and channel number 1 there. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I will enable this radio. Now this is broadcasting different SSIDs. Now I have multiple SSIDs. Just to let me show you a couple of SSID. I have MRN PSK, MRN.1x, different security settings. So now as long as those SSID being broadcast, I should be able to connect, but I'm capturing it using my Meraki Access Point. Let's go to the Meraki Access Point, intelligent capture. Same like earlier, I'm just saying capture only on this SSID, this access point. Save to cloud, or no need to save to clouds, just download. Let's give a 3 minute. I don't expect to that long capture. And in here, I will capture this time. I will say Meraki. I will say as a Sniffer AP. Let's start the capture. Okay. So now it should capture. I'm not connecting any client to the Meraki SSID. So now let's go to our remote client. Now if I look at here, association, you can see it's a disconnected. So now let's go ahead and connect to our MRN kind of SSID. You can see MRN PSK. I will connect to that. It's connected, and if I look at the connection, now you can see it's connected to MRN PSK. Is connected across using 2 band, which is 5 GHz and 6 GHz. Okay, AKM value 24 and Cypress suite being number 9, which is GCMP 256. So now I will connect the client to MRN.1x as well. So client connecting to now .1x SSID. It's taking a bit of time. That's okay. So let's basically give it time because we are capturing traffic for 5 minutes. So it says cannot connect. Let me just give one more try. And if it's at least, you know, we can see the packet capture point of view, what's the trouble is. Let's see if it is not able to connect. Then let's try transition mode SSID. I have a transition mode. At least it connected, saying that transition mode. Let's see where client connected. You can see the transition mode SSID as well. He connected to using multi-link operation. These 2 band. MRN1XT, WPA3 enterprise. So AKM value 5, Cypress suite being number 4, which means 128-bit AES. So we saw basically we had some trouble of connecting to 1X, but transition mode, client was connected straight away without much of a trouble. So now let's go back to the packet capture. You can see, you know, still it's going on. So now let's basically get another mode of capture as well, taking advantage of this time. I can stop the capture, but I would like to go and capture OWE SSID as well, MRN guess. So in that way, we capture 3 different type of security. Now in here, if you go here, you can see AKM value 18 being OWE. Now this particular time, it's connecting single band 5 GHz channel 149 because I have limited that SSID to 5 GHz only. Okay, in that way we capture all of these things. Now I think we have enough time, no need to go to wait for the 3 minutes to be completed, I'll stop the capture. Okay. Now once you stop the capture, you should be able to download the capture and analyze. So you can see here Meraki Sniffer AP, that's the name given. Now let's open this capture and see what happened, whether we can see all the detail. Now if you go to the management kind of frame filter and association request, now you can see now client I initially connected to the MR and PSK, MAC address being 545F, and then client trying to connect to .1x SSID, keep on trying, some failure happened, and then we were able to connecting to the transition mode SSID. It appeared to be using a different MAC address. I cannot really see the MR and XT kind of association request, but then guess SSID using a different MAC address because it's connected to 5 GHz. So let's basically copy this MAC address and see whether what we can see. Copy value and go to frame filter and filter the MAC address. Now you can see here in this particular time as well, client basically went through SA kind of association. Now he went through the association request response and 4-way handshake. We can very clearly see packet being captured, but in this particular instances, if you look at the data traffic cannot be decrypted because I am taking as a sniffer mode. Meraki Access Point simply heard these particular packets being captured. And then we can see client trying to, connecting to disassociate from that and go to the .1x. But somehow he's basically, EAP possibly became successful, but 4-way handshake somehow being not completing, M3, no M4 received from the client, and then it's deauthenticating, disassociating. But this particular time, if you see the detail, we will not able to see the inner detail. So now 4-way handshake timeout, yes, why? Because we are not getting the message number 4. So that way even the problem happening in the 9800 environment, but packet capture taking from the Meraki side, you can see all those details. And client keep trying, same failure happening. So now you can see the authentication, keep on happening. That's why no success happened. Okay. So now M3, M4 is not seeing, we trying many times. So you can see that problem in here. So now the client connected to .1x, XT kind of setup, but MAC address may be different MAC address. We didn't see that, SSID association request. Now in here, you can see, after that, we can see the .1x, but I didn't really see I can see the SSID, some other association, but I'm not 100% sure. Based on my client, we cannot see directly from all these are my client MAC address, A2, the XT kind of association, I can't really see that association, but you can see the packet being captured on channel 1, 2.4. So now, second time I connected, I can give it a try, basically, not sure whether this association the other way to find it out. You will look at, there will be a lot of EAP overland traffic. Now I would like to see whether, subsequently, you can see a lot of EAP overland traffic. But now one time you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. Which is, I guess, this is my OWSSID, but all other time, I can see 1, 2, 3, but not 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That means this is the failure scenario. Okay, so I would need to basically check what's going on there, why client cannot connect to the .1x SSID, but transition mode he connected, but we also connected, but we didn't see that particular capture being taken here. Okay, so now the OWE, if you want to understand that client MAC address, we can copy one of these message number 2 coming from the client. I'll just simply copy the client MAC address, copy this value, and if I put in the frame filter, we will be able to see the OWSSID association. So now you can see towards N, client connect to MR and guess. OWE, how can you tell? You look at the RSN information element. So you look at the RSN information element here. We'll tell client trying to go OWE, opportunistic wireless encryption, AKM value number 18. We looked at in the Windows client. That's, I'm sure it should be there still. OWE, AKM value 18. Okay, this is the final setup. But only thing is in here we didn't able to see client connection. Like these are the link addresses. So he's associated with, these are link specific address. So this should be the MAC address even that time. If they're associating 6 GHz SSID, 6 GHz kind of band. But we didn't see whenever this association being captured properly. Okay, so let's analyze this, because I like to see this is the MAC address, this is the one we filtered earlier. We didn't see successful. You can see all the failures. I didn't see the message number 4 coming properly. Okay, all these are the failure scenarios. Yeah, but at least you get the idea now what we did. We captured from Meraki, but my wireless environment is 9800. So now you can see we can use it as a sniffer mode as well. Only thing you need to keep in mind, if your Meraki AP is broadcasting a beacon frame, you will see that as well. But in this setup, I assuming you have Meraki Access Point, not a lot of client servicing. Otherwise, you are capturing everything on the Meraki AP as well. Most commonly, you can use in the lab environment, specifically if you want a good sniffer. But sometime in the production environment, your Meraki AP may be client servicing. Okay, in that way, if you use it as a capture, it will capture other traffic as well. But in here, you get the idea what we're trying to do. We try to basically use Meraki AP to capture something advertised in another environment. So hopefully this video is useful in this particular setup. And I will see you another video talking about another packet capture mechanism. Until then, take care.